What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Ode to Heroes, and today we're going to be going over some of the top picks for heroes that you should try to build as your first at least 10-star, maybe even E5 project. So we're going to go through each of the normal 4 factions, kind of point out some of the heroes that do pretty well. Again, one thing that I'm going to try to prioritize as far as how good a hero is going to be based on their Reincarnation Trial, which is the same thing for those of you who play Idle Heroes, Sealand, and Idle Heroes. So Reincarnation Trial is really important because you're going to generate a ton of food. So we're going to start it off probably with the first girl here, Li Shishi. Now the names, I'm going to butcher them so good, but she is a kind of like a debuffer healer type hero. She has very, very high healing. She has some extra buffs that she applies to her teams. She's very good, but again, she's more of a support role, not someone that's going to be like that solo hero carry to get Reincarnation Trial done. The next one is Lee. I'm not even gonna go with it. We're going with Lee. We're going with the water faction. Lee, she's kind of like a damage crowd controller type hero. She does have a dot as well. She's a mid DPS. She has strong CC. She synergizes well with herself as well. So she can do pretty good. Again, one thing to note is in the water faction here, none of them are really great for doing Reincarnation Trial. So it is something to be worried about, or to beware about. They do have some other uses, but I would say overall, out of most of the factions, is probably one of the not the third, like number 3 out of 4, I would say, as far as overall faction power. Qin Shi Huang, that's what we're gonna go with. So this man is a super tank mode. It's pretty much Corpse Demon, I believe, from Idle Heroes, if you want something to compare it to. He is very tanky, extremely unkillable as far as PvP goes. He can do really good in a lot of game modes, but again, this is the whole water faction in general kind of struggles to have that solo hero that can just really bulldoze Reincarnation Trial, so that's something to beware about. Besides that, there's really not too many other heroes to go for. None of them really even, I think, come to like the A rank or anything like that for power. But the fire one has a lot of really good picks. So, of course, the brand new hero, Li Guang. We don't really know how good he does. He does good in a lot of areas. He does a ton of damage. Does that mean he's going to do good in Reincarnation Trial? We don't really know. We're gonna have to see. He does even better against single target, so he'll do really good in Heaven's Gate progress. One of them that is very good now, Sun Shangjiang, sure, Sun Shangjiang. She is a cute little one here, but she is essentially Cruz again for those Idle Heroes fans. She is really strong at healing, and of course, this stun right here is huge. Falling below 50% health the first time is really important, so she gets a 2-round stun off. Again, not a hero that you're gonna want to build right away. She's a supporter, but she is a very strong hero to hold on to. Now, the next one, this would be a really top tier candidate to actually have as your first hero to build. Ni Zhang, we're gonna go with that. So again, another Idle Heroes reference here. He's pretty much like Karam from the Abyss faction. He's gonna be able to attack multiple targets, steal attack for them. He's also going to be able to convert 45% of damage dealt to his own health. But I think that's only the basic attack. I don't think the active does it. Again, this is really early game. He's gonna be like S tier as far as getting Reincarnation Trial progress. He's gonna do really good. So as a standalone hero, he's probably one of the best to go for. If you can get the copies, definitely consider it. Now, the next one after that, we're gonna have to go down a little bit down the list. Zhu Liang. Okay, so this man right here is scary. He has 8 trigram marks. It's essentially a scary. He's gonna do tons of damage when you have multiple of him, as the marks just keep stacking. If you're gonna go for literally a scary army, but is gonna be a Liang army, I guess you could say. It is an option. It's not going to be a hero that's going to do well solo. You're going to want multiple of them. But besides that, that kind of covers the fire faction overall. Moving on to the wind faction, though, there's a couple picks as far as heroes to go for reincarnation. So first damage, pretty tanky. Lady of You is pretty strong here. You can tell because the descriptions are very long. That's one way to always tell if a hero is really good. You will deal 600% of attack damage to the enemy with the lowest HP and makes the target bleed. So this is essentially an assassin. Yep, right here. Very, very strong. Very good abilities here. Abilities to block. Grant 2 layers of Sword. Yeah, so essentially what this is, it kind of feels like a Shia. That's kind of what I'm getting out of it. Not 100% sure if that's accurate, but it definitely feels like Shia from the old days, or even after the rework and Idle Heroes. So Lady of You is a really strong one, very tanky, has a ton of burst, does pretty good in reincarnation as well. The other one that's really, really good is Hua Mulan. So Mulan is great. AoE DPS, relies on her bleed quite a bit. Ideal to let her, put her in those bleed type teams. She does good in PvP. I don't really know exactly what type of hero. I feel like what this hero is Cthulhu, right? Immune to bleeding. I mean, when basic attack deals damage, deals attack for 3 rounds. When the round ends, bleeds all enemies, dealing a certain amount of damage. I mean, the whole detonating, it feels like Cthulhu. I feel like she's going to do really good in reincarnation. So someone that you can really, really go for. Let's read this part, though. Detonates the bleeding effect on the target, instantly dealing 100%. It is still capped at her damage as well. So yeah, this is literally Cthulhu right here. So if Cthulhu was a hero you used to like in the old days, Mulan is going to be a great one to go for. After that, you're kind of like, this is kind of more or less like a, I guess more of like a support, a healer right here. She is a Dao Quao. I know I'm probably butchering it. It is very, 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 very good healer. Someone you can go for. But that kind of wraps up the main ones you really want to go for. There is one other hero. So she is very, very... Ooh, wait, I went to the wrong faction. Oh, I forgot to mention that. She's a very good hero to keep on your team for Wind. Make sure you're doing that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as Earth goes, though. So Earth has a couple of good candidates. They have a couple that are good, but not quite for not for reincarnation. I wouldn't say for reincarnation. Lin Pao is very, very strong when it comes to like campaign and Sky Tower and things like that. He's kind of like an overall A hero. But Su Shui is a very, very good one. He does mark damage. He is a tank. He does very good in multiples, very similar to the other hero that's pretty much like Scary. He is going to be a very good one for going for reincarnation. So if you can get copies of him, he will do extremely well. And the other one that can do very, very well in reincarnation, but doesn't really do great in a lot of other parts of the game is Cao Cao. We're going with Cao Cao. He is Cao Cao. So he deals a lot of damage to the back row. He has a chance to petrify targets. He does bleeds as well. It's a solid overall hero. Again, very short descriptions, but still a solid pickup if you want to go for that. So those are kind of the heroes that do really good, really, really good. As like your first hero. Of course, you're not really gonna want to focus on a Yang or a Yin or Yang. You really don't want to. It is a little bit easier than what you're used to if you're coming from Idle Heroes, but it's still a little difficult. You're still going to need 2 6 stars worth of food in those factions to get them all the way up to E5. There are a couple things to point out here that I want to make sure you know. First off is where is he? Where's Mosey? Mosey is not really that great of a hero. It sounds like Mosey is a hero that is typically used as food in the Yang faction. Yin. I always mess him up. But Yin is the dark faction essentially. He's not that great. Yin Yang, she's all right. She does pretty good overall, but I mean, like those two are by far the worst two out of the top 5 that you'll see. And then of course in the Yang faction there are a couple really good ones. Number 1 is Zhang Zia. He is extremely strong, very versatile. He has a big old active ability. I mean, look at the descriptions here, man. They're long. That means they're good, right? He is very strong, and so is Gao Janli. I guess we'll go with that. So essentially, this hero right here is Faithblade from Idle Heroes. Very strong in the early game. Really good. Damo can be very good as well. Pretty much what I want to say is Michelle does have a chance to revive, I believe, upon first death. Revives with 100% energy and health, so that is pretty good. This right here, Zhang Yu, is essentially Asmodel. Again, a pretty good hero. And then of course you get down to Kishi. I don't know how to say it. She's a healer, damage buffer. She's decent. But I kind of think of like a Belrain, but not as good. So those are the heroes. I wanted to make sure, more than just looking at a tier list, you guys kind of understood a little bit about the heroes if you haven't had a chance to really read up on them. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or you want any type of guides, let me know. I'll do the research. I'll figure it out and I'll pass it along to you guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the game. Again, you know why I am. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time.